Members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome back after a brief adjournment to caucus with the Minister of Justice, Minister Lewis, on his return to answer the questions just posed by members of Parliament. This will be happening in approximately 1 hour. In the meantime, we continue with the other ministers, which, by the way, would be Minister Lewis as the Minister acting for Education, Culture, Youth and Sport. So the Minister for Education, Culture, Youth and Sport is up next for answering questions of Parliament. And so I therefore would now again adjourn just to change around the staff of the ministries so that Minister Lewis can continue in his capacity as Minister of Education, Culture, Youth and Sports. So this meeting is adjourned now for 2 minutes. Members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This time I again welcome Minister Lyndon Lewis in his capacity as Minister for ECYS. I also welcome the staff of ECYS supporting the Minister here this afternoon. So, Minister, welcome back, and you are here currently to respond to questions posed by members of Parliament that have been asked during the initial presentation on the amended budget 2024. So, Minister, I immediately invite you to take the floor on this topic regarding the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth and Sports. Minister, you have the floor.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you again, Madam Chair, the honorable members of Parliament, and to who all are listening, viewing these proceedings. Good afternoon. As we continue to discuss and deliberate on the proposed budget amendment that impact the future of our nation, I would like to address you as Acting Minister of Education, Culture, Youth and Sport. Without further delay, I would like to get right into the answering of the questions posed by the honorable MPs, through you, Madam Chair, MP De Weaver, from 24 persons to 6 persons, the biggest effect, more so injustice, and the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth and Sport. Through you, Madam Chair, I took note of the statement from the honorable MP and wish to elucidate on the personnel cuts of the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth and Sport. The decrease in the budgeted vacancies was based on 2 areas where budget cuts could be implemented. Personnel cost, 2.1 million guilders, and goods and services, 1.3 million guilders. The Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth and Sport could not reduce the goods and services budget as much so. Most of the cuts came from the personnel budget. These cuts were not limited or eliminating full vacancies. They also included adjustments based on the number of months personnel were reflected in the budget. For example, this occurred when personnel transferred out of the ministry or retired during the year. The 6 remaining budgeted vacancies are in the Division of Public Education teaching staff. Through you, Madam Chair, the questions and answers to MP Otley. Decrease in 13.1 million in education. Can I receive an explanation on this? The decrease in the capital investment for the Ministry of ECYS consists of 12.1 million originally allocated for the construction of a high school in the 2024 budget. However, the dossier for the project lacked sufficient substantiation as it did not include concrete costs, estimates, or architectural plans for the high school, and no land had been secured for the construction. As a result, the investment could not be approved in its current state. Additionally, 200,000 guilders for computer hardware and telecom equipment was removed from the 2024 CAPEX budget due to priority changes in capital investments approved by the CFT. 500,000 guilders for the equipment and setup of SMVTS was also excluded from the 2024 CAPEX budget due to these changes. Lastly, 300,000 guilders for ICT hardware and software was deducted for the same reason. In total, the deductions from the 2024 CAPEX budget amount to $13.1 million. I would like the names of all consultants hired by each minister and would like to know the contractual pricing for each consultant hired by each minister. The Minister of ECYS has hired no consultants. And how many cabinet staff are in each cabinet? There are 6 cabinet staff members in the cabinet of ECYS. Through you, Madam Chair, questions posed by MP Lacruz. I did not see anything in the budget for Carnival. I have not seen that reflected anywhere in the budget. The Department of Culture utilizes the budget allocated under the caption Promoting Culture Nationally and Intangible Cultural Heritage for the Carnival-related programs. My colleague, Minister of TIAT, has also addressed this question as they budget funds for Carnival. Through you, Madam Chair, the questions posed by MP Bruch and answers thereto. Cut with reference to Ministry of Education, Breakfast on Wheels program for school children. Does the cut affect what is being made available for the breakfast programs? No cuts were made to the budget account 434213220, voting, which covers the feeding programs within the public schools. Cuts with reference to personnel and expertise, considering that there are so much technical assistance that are going to be needed for pending legislation, are these cuts limited to only 2024, and while they be resorted to 2025 to acquire expertise outside of government where needed? The budget cuts to the Department of Education include a reduction in the department's personnel budget for a senior policy officer who left the department in 2024. This is a critical vacancy, and this cut will adversely affect the department's ability to deliver on pending legislation and agreements made in the country packages in 2025. Different departments complain about the shortages of personnel. Are the cuts also when it comes to personnel as a result of the recent increase of the situation where a lot of civil servants are leaving the government apparatus to the private sector? Is that one of the reasons why you see a drop in certain areas within the budget? For the past 3 consecutive years, the ministry has, for various reasons, been unable to fully utilize its personnel budget. And the forecast indicates that the same will hold through 2024. For 2024. This trend appears to be consistent across the entire government, making it difficult to argue that a reduction in personnel costs is unrealistic or will hinder the achievement of goals, especially when we have been unable to fill all vacancies and fully utilize our personnel budget for the last 3 years. Notably, there are at least 2 individuals working in the ministry who are affecting the budget of other ministries. Additionally, at least 5 individuals are impacting the ministry's budget while working in other ministries or cabinets. The situation affects the department's or division's ability to achieve its goals, as there are fewer staff members present than those being paid from the budget. Clearly, the organization faces challenges in processing personnel matters promptly, which affects its ability to fill vacancies